Hello, welcome to St Andrews. My name is Mrs Meg and I'm the Year 2 year leader. Today I'd like to talk to you about some of the things that happen in St Andrews. I'd like you to become a little bit more familiar with all of the different things that happen here. Normally we'd be able to meet together in face-to-face, maybe in a big meeting. But unfortunately we can't do that now because of COVID. So I thought this was the next best thing. So sit back, get yourself a glass of water, and I'll introduce you to St Andrews. Firstly, I'd like to start with our school mission. Our mission is to provide an inclusive international education in a safe, happy, supportive and stimulating environment where all the needs of the individual learner are met. The students are inspired to be the best they can be, enabling them to be responsible global citizens. And that embeds all of our learning, all of our activities that happen in St Andrews. We have a vision, and our vision is to have happy children who can then be expected to work hard and have very high expectations of themselves. We have an open admissions policy, and we accommodate individual learning needs. And we have a specialised STARS programme, which is an inclusion programme for children with special educational needs. Here are the Year 2 teachers. There are 6 classes, and each class has got 1 teacher and 1 TA. You will find out which class your child is in very soon. We have a very supportive school. We have supportive teams. And at the top of those supportive teams are Mr. Paul and Dr. Knock. And I'm sure you'll see them a lot when you come to school. Other people who help support us are our senior leaders, Miss Diane, Mr. Steve and Miss Verity. Miss Diane is the head of Foundation Stage and Key Stage 1. Mr. Steve is deputy head for the whole of primary. And Miss Verity is the head of the STARS and learning support. Then we have people who help specifically with children with specific needs, such as learning support and STARS children. We have Third, Mr. Greg and Miss Kitty. She's a new teacher and she'll be joining us soon. Then we have children who need some help with EAL needs, and that would be Miss Amy and Miss Anne who help those children. And of course, let's not forget Kunnom and Kunhas, who will help us with our everyday needs, especially around the estates team. Now, our children have all got different languages that they know and learn. Every child has to learn Thai, and Crew Joy is the head of Thai, and she has lots and lots of different Thai teachers that will help her. And then we have Miss Cynthia, and she is the primary language head. And some of the first languages your child could learn are Japanese, Korean, German and French. This is our nursing team, and of course they are very important people to us because children might get sick. So we go and see Kun Mai or Miss Andrea to help us if your child gets sick. Another important thing to remember is that we are we find safeguarding we place great importance with safeguarding. So please make sure you always wear your STA ID card when you're coming in and out of school. Make sure you give it to your nannies and your drivers too. Any visitors without an STA ID card need to report to the car park gate. Please only use toilets that are designated for adults. There are clear signs, whether it's a students only toilet or an adults only toilet, and please follow those rules. And if you see anything suspicious, then please mention it to Mr. Paul, Mr. Jeff or Miss Diane, who are the safeguarding leads of the school. Now, we are in very unusual times and not exactly how we would like to start school, but here are some of the changes that we have made over the last year to make sure that our children are as safe as they can be. We have made changes to the transport service, and we have temperature checks before they go onto the buses. We have temperature checks before entering campus, and every person must wear a mask. And we limit the amount of adults on campus, so you're only allowed to come by appointment. We stagger lunch and break times to make sure there's more space to play, and we have adapted our specialist lessons, such as PE, music and Thai, to make sure that the children have got lots of space around them and there's very little movement. We have enhanced our cleaning routines, including disinfecting of all of the toys very, very regularly. We do adhere to the Ministry of Public Health and the Ministry of Education guidelines, and we look to them for special advice. We also gather our advice from Nord Anglia. Now, we are a very supportive school with lots and lots of support for you as families and for the whole community. We have family support, learning support. We have art therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, play and physical therapy, and we offer many, many workshops throughout the year. They may be virtual, they may be face-to-face, but please watch out for them and please do attend. They're really, really useful. We consider ourselves a partnership with you and with the administration and with the children. One team, one school community, which works well together. Here is some practical information. The school uniform shop will be open, but you will have to make an appointment with the school to get your uniform for your child. Make sure you bring your child along because there's things that they can do while they're here. You can click on the link for a uniform guide. Now, also at the same time as you getting their uniform, you could pop into the office and get their photograph taken so that they can have their ID card prepared for them in advance of starting school. That would be a really good job for you to do. You could also organise car parking stickers. So you can organise that in the school office too. And the details of that are on Moodle, and we'll come to Moodle a bit later. Here is some more practical information. You can get some school bags and some hats and visors from the school uniform shop. But you could also bring your own bag, because I know children do like to choose their own bag. But please, could you remember not to have any wheels on your bags, because we have got a lot of stairs to climb. And please make sure that every child does have a hat and that your hats and bags are named. Some more practical information is about parking. Now, we have limited parking space on the school site, but there's plenty of parking space in various different places. So we have Suk 71, which is a marketplace very, very close to school. It's about a 4-minute walk to get from Suk 71 into our school. And it's a really good place to park if you want to make sure you're at school on time. You can also park at Max Value, which is a supermarket just down the road. It's a bit further to walk, but you could also get the shuttle bus, which is regularly going back and forth to school. There's a link here that you can click on to see the different shuttle bus information, because you could also park at Gateway or you could get a shuttle bus from high school. Here are the basic routines in Year 2. You will get some more information at the beginning of term, where we will hold a Meet the Year Group meeting. But basically, you have to remember that school starts at 7:45 a.m. and we do wish that every child is there on time, because there's really important information and important things that we tell the children as soon as we get into school. Please can you make sure you label all your children's belongings, because if they lose anything, then we can get back to them really, really easily. But if they're not labelled, then it's really, really difficult for them to find their items that they've lost. And it is normal for a Year 2 child to lose their things. On PE days, we'd like the children to wear their PE kit. But on swimming days, they come in their normal school uniform and they change into their swimming kit. So it's good to make sure the children have practiced over the holidays getting changed and doing up those buttons. On Friday, we'd like you to wear a house t-shirt, and you'll be able to find out which house your child is in when you go to the uniform shop. Now I've got a little video for you to watch and sit back and enjoy having a virtual tour of our school. Hello everybody! Today I'm going to show you around the school. Now normally I'd like you to come into school and we could have a play together, and I would show you all the different areas where we like to play. But today we can't do that, so I'm going to show you around the school on a video, okay? So here I am, and I'm outside the library today. And as you can see, we've got a lovely library here, so I'm going to take you inside so you can have a look at our library. There, so we've got a really big library with so many books. And this area over here is the picture book section, which is my favourite section. It's got lots and lots of storybooks of traditional tales. It's got a big section of Thai stories and also lots and lots of favourite stories here that you can choose from. I wonder which ones you'll choose when you come to read in the library with us. Do you like to climb? I really like to climb, and this is an amazing place called the Terra Nova, and we can climb and hang and swing here. Shall I show you? I bet you'll really enjoy climbing and playing on the Terra Nova with your friends. So one of the favourite places to play in the school is this huge field that we've got. Lots of children like to run and chase their friends around, and also they like to play football on it. And the choice is yours, you can do what you want, but shall we go and score a goal? Yeah! Every week in school you'll get to have a music lesson with our specialist music teachers, and here is one of our lovely music rooms. So in this room we've got such a big space because when we play music we also like to move, so it's music and movement. But also we've got so many instruments. We've got xylophones, drums, we've got ukuleles, we've got beaters and shakers, wood blocks. We've got all the things you need to do to make some wonderful music. Every week we have a swimming lesson, and this is the big swimming pool that we can use. It is 25 metres long. This is the deep end. Oh, it's very deep, way over the top of my head. That is the shallow end over there, and it comes to here on me, so it's still quite deep. But don't worry, because there are platforms there too for you to stand on, for you to practice pushing off and practice your swimming. I know you'll have a great time here with the specialist swimming teachers when you come to swim every week. So of course every day we need to have our lunch, don't we? We need to eat some food, and we do that in the canteen. Now you can bring your own packed lunch from home if you want to, but I really like eating the food in our canteen. It's really delicious. And what you do is you come to the counter here when we've got food, and there are lots of people to serve you, and you can choose what you want. You can choose healthy vegetables to eat, you can choose some meat or some different sorts of protein. There's always a vegetarian option, and you choose what you like, and then you take it to the table to sit down with your friends and enjoy a meal together. Oh, it's really important for us to stay physically fit. And every week we'll have sports lessons with our specialist PE teachers. And we have that on the field and around the school in different places. But one of the spaces is our sports hall, which is massive. And we can play lots of games like basketball and badminton inside this room. Let's go inside. So we're inside the sports hall here. And as you can see, it's a massive space for you to be able to run around. You can play basketball, badminton, and lots of other games with your specialist PE teachers. And one thing I really notice when I come here is how nice and cool it is, because sometimes outside is super hot, but you want to come to a nice air-conditioned, cool place to get physically fit. 5, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Whoa, 60 stairs to climb up when we get to our floor. Wow, so this is our year 2 floor. There are 2 floors, one is downstairs and one is upstairs. And this is the year 2 floor here, okay? So here we have the year 2 shared area, the year 2 area. We've got one downstairs as well because year 2 are on 2 floors. One downstairs on floor 3 and this is floor 4. Okay, we've got lots of different places in this area for you to play and to learn and to work collaboratively with your friends. Okay, so the first area we have is a reading area. So it's a nice quiet space for you to choose books that you want to look at and also to choose your reading books to go home. These are called your home readers and you'll choose one every few days to take home. Okay, the next space that we've got is a creative space where we can paint and draw, make a little bit of mess and use this area here to create things. We've got lots of resources. We have sequins, as you can see. We've got paper, some pom-poms, lots of paint, lots of glue, all those things that you need to be creative with. The next space that we've got is a sensory space. So at the moment we've got some sand in this sensory tray with some under the water animals. But we might put some slime in here or some water, anything that you like to play and feel things. Okay, and the next place we've got is our constructive area. So we've got some construction toys such as Magnaform, we've got Mobilo, we've got K'NEX, we've got lots and lots of Lego, and we've got lots of loose parts play too. The next space we've got is our small world area where we can play with small toys. We've got a lovely doll's house and we've got some transport toys and we've got some animals, farm animals and zoo animals, dinosaurs and lots of little people to play small world toys. And then we've got a role play area here. So maybe you want to come here and play in the home corner or the home area, or maybe one day it will be a shop, or maybe it will be a doctor's surgery. You could do some cooking or some ironing. You could play with the babies or the animals. Maybe you might like to be a doctor and check whether the babies are well. So there's lots of different spaces for you to play here and to learn and to play with your friends. And I can't wait to play with you and to look after you in this space. So I can't wait till you come here, and I will see you very soon. Bye! I hope you enjoyed that video and I hope gave you a bit of an idea about what our school is like and the facilities we have. Now, hopefully you'll be able to come in really soon and have a look for yourself. And I really look forward to meeting you. Now I'm going to give you a little bit more information, specifically more about Year 2. I thought it would be really interesting for you to know what topics we learn in Year 2, and I'm really excited about learning these topics. We have, to start with, a transport topic. So it's all about different transport that's around. And then after that, we learn about celebrations. After that, we learn about superheroes, and then we learn about seas and oceans. And the final term, we learn about mini beasts. Now, all the children have told me how excited they are about learning these topics, and everyone finds it really interesting. Through these topics, we learn everything. We learn literacy, maths, but also we learn art, science, history, geography, and ICT. We have integrated topics. We place great importance in our school, and we're very proud of our sustainability. And in Year 2, we're really lucky to have our sustainability coordinator joining us as one of our teachers. Some of the things that we can do in Year 2 to be more sustainable are mentioned here. Bring a water bottle every day to school so we don't use up all of those paper cups. Reduce, reuse and recycle is embedded in our learning. We use sustainable resources wherever possible, and we have upcycled our furniture in different places. And of course, our topics, if you've just seen, we will put environmental-based projects within them. Another thing that we do is every Monday we have a meat-free day. So we explore various meat-free dishes through our canteen and we enjoy different vegetarian options. We are really proud to be the first school in Thailand to be recognised by the Meat Free Monday organisation. Now let's think about how you can help your child. Well, every term we have a curriculum letter which will explain the learning that will be taking place. We would like to encourage you to read every day with your child, and it would be really useful for you to record that reading in a reading record, and then our teachers can see how much reading each child is doing at home. We use a learning journey called Seesaw, and you will find out more about this when you come into school. But it's really useful for you to look at Seesaw every day to see what your child has learnt during that day. And then you're never without that dreaded question of, what did you do today? And then there's silence. You can say, I know what you've done today because I've seen it on Seesaw. And then you can share that with your child and they can explain a little bit more about their learning. There is a little bit of homework in Year 2. So we'd like you to read every day with your child. There is some spelling sent home every Thursday, and we do have some optional homework, and you will have Thai. There's lots of different ways you can communicate with us. Now, under normal circumstances, we can have face-to-face communication, and we do promote an open door policy. Of course, as I just mentioned, you can use Seesaw, and you can look at Seesaw to see how your child is getting on, but you can also communicate with your teachers through Seesaw. You can email your teachers in working hours, and we have class reps who are wonderful parents who help organise other parents and communicate with them through Line or WhatsApp. They're brilliant, and we're looking for more class reps if you're willing to be a volunteer. We have Google Meets as an option, of course, which is probably the new normal. We have a school newsletter every week on a Monday going out explaining what's happening throughout the school. And it's always really good to look at that because it gives you lots of ideas about what's happening in different year groups and different events. We have a Meet the Teacher in Term 1. So very soon you'll be able to either come into school or we'll have a virtual meeting so you can see all the teachers and we can learn about specifically what's happening in Year 2. Every term we have parent consultations, so you can really talk about the development of your child. And we have termly reports, including a full report at the end of the year. Now, of course, school doesn't always end at 2:45. If you want to, you could join the ECAs. That is the Extracurricular Activities. And there's so many different options for your child to attend. There's too many to mention. So just watch out at the beginning of the term for what options you do have. There's so many different ones. They usually start at 2:45 and finish at 3:45. They run for 5 days a week. Some sporting ones especially will go on for a bit longer or may start a bit later, just to make sure everybody's got as many opportunities to be part of the sporting team. Now, there's no provision to supervise any children who are not in an ECA, so you must pick up your child if they're not joining, and you must accompany them. And that we'd like to say that you that you can sign up for ECAs using Moodle. And remember, I'll come to that in a minute. And they are preference-based. So you can choose which are your favourites that you want to be part of, so you don't miss out on them. Part of the ECAs is our performing arts programme. We've got lots of different opportunities for your child to be part of performing arts. They can sing, they can be part of music, tech, world music. There's recorders and ukuleles, piano, so many different musical opportunities. And most of it is based around Juilliard programme, which we're very lucky to be part of. Now, we're coming to the end now, and here are some frequently asked questions that you might have not had answered yet. Now, we do love to celebrate birthdays in our school, and that hasn't stopped with COVID, but it has changed a little bit. We don't have children blowing out candles, but they can share an individual cake. So cupcakes or donuts is a really good idea to share. We do make a special fuss for anybody who's got a birthday. We are planning to have trips and special days, but we are also aware that maybe those plans might be put on hold because of COVID. So we will inform you more of trips and special days later on. Every day we'd like your child to bring a folder, a water bottle and a hat. Now the school will give you your child's folder, but please provide a water bottle and a hat for your child. Our well child policy is very strict in that we would like you to keep any sick children at home, especially during these times, but really at any time. A sick child is not a happy child, and they're never thriving in class. Even if you give them a dose of medicine to keep them going, that will never work because it wears off during the day. So please make sure that you keep your sick children at home. And we do our best to make sure every child is healthy in our school. We're regularly playing with them, of course, and being with them. And of course, of our strong relationship with our children, we know when they're a little bit under the weather, and then we will act accordingly, usually taking them to the nurse, and then they'll get sent home. So now the question is, what is Moodle? Well, Moodle is a learning management system used in lots and lots of different establishments. Mr. Keith, who is the head of our ICT, he will be able to tell you what Moodle is and how you can log on to it in a special session at the beginning of term. And he will also at the same time tell you about Seesaw. It's really important that you attend that session, so make sure you do take time to join the Moodle and Seesaw session with Mr. Keith at the beginning of term. I'd like to say that we would show the greatest privacy for your child and for others. So we don't want you to take any photos of other children, please, if you ever come into school. And we keep all correspondence with you private. And the last thing we'd like you to do is that if you have any spare time, then please consider, under normal circumstances, coming in to volunteer to help read with the children. It's really important, especially during this time when they've not been in school for a long time, that the children's practice in their reading is increased. So if you have any spare time, we'd love it if you came in to read with the children. Finally, here are all the contact details of all of the teachers in Year 2. I know you don't know which class your child is in yet, but if you have any questions over the next few weeks, please contact me at meg.ki@standrewsac.th. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. And again, please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for sitting through this presentation. And yeah, I'm really excited to see you very soon. Thank you very much and see you soon. Goodbye.